Hi everyone, I am so excited because I'm speaking with author Bette Lee Crosby and we are talking about her brand new book. Just came out yesterday. She has it right in front of her. She's going to show us the cover. It is called Emily Gone, and she'll hold up the picture, Betty, so everybody can. I get so excited about seeing it in print because I only see them in digital, so it is beautiful.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, do you love that
So
cover?
many readers that will only read print.
Yeah, well, I know it's easy for me now, but I do love print. And that cover, what do you think? It is absolutely gorgeous.
It is, isn't it pretty? And I'd love to take credit for it, but my publisher is Lake Union, and they did cover, and I was so thrilled when I saw it. I just loved it.
Yeah,
Right?
can I just tell you that I am loving Lake Union covers right now? Like,
Yes.
I mean, I see a great cover and I see it's Lake Union. I'm like, I love their covers, you know?
I have a fabulous editor, and we talk about the concept and the concept of the story and everything, and she digs up some really fabulous pictures, and we go through them and we say, okay, this is kind of the mood I want, but this is the background I want. And it's amazing what they can do with Photoshop and put everything together until it's just exactly what you had in mind.
Oh, yeah. And this story, oh my gosh, I love this story so much. And, I think about like an author like you, and you've written so many stories. Like, how do you get inspired for these stories?
Oh my gosh. I think there's inspiration in everyday events, really. Sometimes it's a word someone says or a story you see on the news, and you think, yes, but what if it was a different way? Because you hear a lot of different stories. And I write basically inspiring fiction. I want people, when they finish the book, I want them to feel better than they did when they started the book. So I look for, I'll hear something on the news that's maybe a really unpleasant happening, and I'll say, yes, but what if it went the other way? And sometimes that's really a fun thing to do. It's kind of like the road not taken.
Yeah, and you know what?
Thrilled with the reception Emily Gone has gotten. I was absolutely blown away yesterday. It was #2 on Southern Fiction.
I couldn't, you know what? But I understand why, because I read it, okay? But you know what? I am, I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 6. I'm a grandma of 9, okay? And so when I start reading a child abduction story, I get, right? Like, I mean, isn't that what we all do? But like you said, by the end, I was changed in such a hopeful way. And I don't even know if I want to say that I thought that's how it was going to end, because it's not. I did not think it was going to end like that, and we don't give spoilers away. But the way you did end it, like, I was happy, and then I'm like, oh, and I thought that I could only be happy with one way, but you made me happy about another way. So
I know. I think that's part of the fun of writing a story, is finding an ending that is unexpected but satisfying.
Yes. So
a lot of people have said that. They said, that ending, it blew me away. It was not what I expected.
Nope, it's not what you expect. But I'm going to let you tell everybody the kind of blurb about this book, and then I'm going to give you some quotes that I like.
Oh my gosh. Well, gee, I should have pulled up a blurb.
Oh, that's okay. Like, we know it's a child abduction, and her name is Emily.
Well, I think the thing that's fascinating about it is I like stories that are not set in present day, because present day is so real to life.
Yes.
I like something that's a little historical, not Regency or that far back, but like early Americana, small town America. I like that kind of an environment. And the beauty of it is that back then, you couldn't just pick up your cell phone and get out of any fix you got into. If you got into a problem, you had to resolve that problem yourself. I mean, there was no way out other than your own ingenuity, which often presents a great environment for a writer to work in, because you can let the character be a lot more creative. And this one starts with, and this is what I thought was really cool, it starts with a music festival in 1971. And think Woodstock. It's like the exact thing of Woodstock. So if you've ever heard about that, or lived through it in some cases, it was a time of peace, not war, and make love, not war, and love beads, and music festivals, and free love. And that's kind of the environment that this was. And when you start the book, that people have said that environment is so real that they just felt transported there.
Absolutely. That's what I'm going to read the first paragraph, okay? Because I pulled it up. And that's what, because I want to show everybody. It starts in Hesterville, Georgia. We're in this is like the beginning, and then we go back. So this says, it's been 47 years since the musical festival took place out at Harold Baker's farm, but everyone in Hesterville remembers that weekend, not because of the music, which was so loud you could hear it clear over in Weston, and not even because of the 19 people arrested, 12 for shoplifting, 6 for parading down Main Street naked, and 1 for breaking the front window of Brian's pet shop. No, the reason the people of Hesterville remember that weekend is because of what happened to the Dixon family. And then you end, which I always just love the ending of the first chapter. Of course, that was 47 years ago. To understand the truth of what happened, you would have had to be there. And I was like, oh, Betty, like you had me. That first chapter was just, like you said, I felt like I was there, this person telling a story about something that had taken place that many years ago. But it's so relevant because when I went back and reread that first chapter today, after reading the whole book, I was like, absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect.
You know what I loved also? And it wasn't in the original manuscript because I worked with a great editor and she had a lot of good suggestions and we just built on them. But one of the things I love too is that the epilogue tells what happened afterwards. And I love that. Sometimes the story ends and it's the right ending place for the story, but by the same token, you always appreciate, because by then those characters are very real to you.
Yes.
So appreciate what happened the rest of their life, so to speak.
Absolutely. And you had me. I mean, I was born in 64, so I was young in 71. But I remember payphones, and I remember waiting by payphones for a payphone to ring. I was like cracking up because I'm like, you took me back to that place of standing next to a payphone, waiting for a phone call, or like scrambling for change to be able to call, or calling collect, because we could call collect too. But
I know.
But people don't read, when there are younger people reading this story, I'm like, I was so happy that you're like showing them a world that they will never know. I mean,
No, it is. It's funny, the things, and you have to be careful with it too, because you have to be careful not to include something that happened afterwards, something that's a newer innovation than that particular time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it's not like the past, it's like near past, but there's been a lot, right? Since then.
And when I was writing it, I got to the point where they were going in the store for supplies and everything, and I had to think, did they use credit cards then? And not very much.
Not very much.
It seems like now, how could we possibly get anywhere without grabbing a Visa or, a MasterCard or something else and whipping it out? But back then, it was a rarity. I mean, there were credit cards in existence, but they were rare and not many people carried them.
I remember my dad's first credit card. It was in the later 70s, and he wouldn't use it. Like, they were scared of it, He had it because I think he got told or something to have one. But I remember, like, the fear of the credit, they were afraid. Okay, let's talk about these characters because I love these characters so much. Rachel, my heart just goes out to that woman. I loved her so much. I feel like me and her are friends now. Like, I don't want to let her go at all. I mean, I can tell you had so much fun writing her. Okay.
It's very real to me too. And even the part where when her husband is trying to console her and everything, and she will not be consoled. I mean, and I think that's how we are sometimes when we're, when something is really troubling us to that point. It's not like we can just jump up and say, oh, okay, then,
Yeah.
So I think she was very real.
Oh yeah, she was. And you wrote a story that all three women our hearts went out to because, I am a grandma, I'm a mother-in-law, I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, and then with Vicky, it was like I could even feel her pain, and you wanted to not like her, okay, a lot. You wanted to be like mad at her, but because you got us into her head, and we can't imagine being where she was in life,
Yeah.
having lost a child. And I don't think that's a spoiler because we find that out pretty early on. But yeah, I mean, so you feel for her, like that pain. So like they all have pain, but
I think that's the interesting thing about when you're creating a character is to show all the sides of them, because it's very easy to paint a character that's all good or a character that's all bad. But in real life, people really aren't that way. Even a bad guy often has some good, they say even a gangster loves his mother. I think that it's much more true to life when the characters have a good side and a bad side. And when you know more about them, I think you can see that good and bad side.
Yeah, and even your minor characters, like you did I want to call them the guys in the story. I even loved all of them, and they were so trying to help these women, all of them in a different role. And, but this is the first book of yours that I've read, and now I want to go back. I'm like, take me back, Betty. Take me back to the beginning, because
almost all of my books have a part of me in them. Something that's happened in my life or something that I have a great affinity for. Like I'm very fond of rescue dogs and everything, so I'll have a dog in some. There's not one in. Well, there is one in this story.
I was going to say, it's in there.
Yeah. But I think that, I don't know, I think you have a piece of, when you're writing this kind of fiction, there's a piece of you in every book that you write.
Yeah. And because you've written so many, like I picture you, like this book just came out, but I'm sure you're already into another one, right?
I'm just starting. I have been, I spend a lot of time in my head thinking about a story before I start writing it. And I've been thinking about this one probably for the past month, that I've had, when I walk in the morning, I try and do this exercise walk and everything. And, I've been thinking about this one probably for a month, but I haven't, I'm just now getting to the point where I'm going to start putting it on paper.
Oh, because I was like, you've written so many. Like, I'm like, you've got to be always in the midst of, even though we're just seeing this one, it's like you're already on to your next story. But yeah, but I love the cover. I'm loving what everybody's that making pictures of. I love how they do that on Instagram now, and they make beautiful pictures with the covers, which just kind of brings them to life. And when I saw these colors and they're kind of muted, they aren't like you see a lot of book covers that are like bright, but this one it's like that muted colors, and it's like I don't know, it lends to the story. It really does. I loved it.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So hold it up one more time to show everybody. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I wanted you to show everybody the cover, and you can tell me what you were going to say. There we go. Like the girl, we just get a glimpse of her.
Well, originally we had picked this picture, and they were working on it, and the artist had put some yellow in here and everything. And I was almost on the verge of saying, and I studied art. I did not study writing. I came into writing through the back door of art. But I was almost going to approve it, and then my editor at Lake Union said, "You know what? Our marketing department felt that this cover is a little too bright, a little too in your face for the kind of story it is, because the story is just all feelings."
Yes.
It's all, one of the reviews that I got, and I thought it was very poignant, said, the headline said, "It's all about the relationships."
Yes.
It's pretty true.
It is. It's all about the relationships, and those are my favorite kind of books anyway. So when I see that, I'm like, yes, I'm all in. And you did it beautifully, and I am so happy that I got to talk to you. I'm so happy that I got to read your book. I feel so blessed by it. It's one of those stories that's just I'm going to carry with me for a while, and like I said, I want to go back. I want to go back and read some more, but everybody, I'm going to put all of Bette's links listed below. I'm going to put the IndieBound so you can go support your local bookstore. I'm going to put the Amazon. If you want it today, you can go there and get the Kindle. It is out. It came out yesterday. And I'm so happy we got to talk. I can't wait. I can't wait for your next book. You know where to find me, Bette, because I will read it. I will read it, and I'll read it early, and we'll talk again.
Oh, thank you. I'd be thrilled.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
To sit with you.
It's been my pleasure. So thank you. Have an amazing day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.